Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full-stack software engineer, entry-level full-stack software engineer, and this is a garbage resume. I know this is a garbage resume because they told me that they can't seem to land a single interview. So this resume gets literally 0 interviews, and they want to know if they should make it more generic or make a full-stack focused resume or what. Well, you never, ever, ever want to make a generic resume. One of the biggest flaws and problems that entry-level software engineers do is they try to make a very broad, generalized resume when what you want to do is focus it into a stack. Whether that's full stack, front end, back end, Python, back end, Java, or back end C#, those are the 5 stacks that you want to focus on. And if it's not focused on one of those stacks, it's going to get 0 interviews. So what do we need for a full stack software engineer? Because they said that is also something they're looking for. We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. One more time, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. That is in almost every single full stack software engineer job description. And if you do not have those 4 things, you are probably not going to get moved forward. It doesn't matter how basic they are. The basics are what gets people jobs. Then RESTful API or REST API, SQL, any of them, Cloud, any of those. Backend, so Python, C# or Java, and React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, and extra credit is the scale of what you did, AI tools, and cross-functional. I'm also going to let everybody know I am a little bit sick. I had my wedding 2 weeks ago and then came down with a bad bacterial infection, so if my voice sounds a little off, or I'm a little low energy, or I miss stuff that's a little more basic than normal, I'm sorry, but that just means I'm still a little sick and I'm recovering. But if your resume is good enough to get past a sick recruiter, then that's a phenomenal resume. So let's see why this resume does not work. And we only have 20 seconds to find what we need in a resume. That is all the time recruiters have. So let's see what I cannot find in 20 seconds, which I'm expecting is none of these since it gets literally 0 interviews. So, and go. Okay, formatting is off. This doesn't matter. Okay, built-in internal, okay, Spring Boot, don't really care about. RESTful API, I do. SQL, I do. This is not what I'm looking for. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Warframe can matter, which I used to play Warframe a lot. I really like Warframe. I should probably get back into Warframe. Warframe is fun. Not sponsored, but this has nothing that I want besides... No, this has nothing that I want, nothing that I want, nothing that I want, nothing that I want. So, here is why you have a problem. A, your formatting is awful. This is the formatting you want to use. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below. That is how you do it. You really, really, really want to use that formatting because the better the formatting, the longer we can go in your resume. And right now, I couldn't go very far down here. So remember, summary sections don't matter. Nothing here matters unless you are relocating, explaining a visa, or switching industries. And I mean switching from being a software engineer to a bread baker or something. I don't even know, or a bakery person, whatever. That would be one of the reasons. But yeah, this should nothing here should be bolded. Skill sections don't count. Everybody puts everything they have in a skill section, and the problem is what's in the skill section is what we're looking for, but you can't use it if it's in a skill section. So there is a difference between keyword hunting and qualification hunting, and recruiters are doing the latter and not the former. A qualification is a keyword, which is what one of these are, plus how you did it, plus the business reasons you did it, plus where you did it. And if you do not have those 4 things, the what, the how, the reason for the business, and where, it does not count as a qualification. And we need to find 75% of those to move you forward. So while you do have some of the keywords in this list down here, such as Vue, Next, AWS, and Node, the problem is you did not tell me how you use them, you did not tell me the reason you use them, and you did not tell me where you use them, so this section does not count. So I want you to go back to the drawing board and I think honestly probably delete this entire resume, and I want you to build it with sentences that are based on these that show me the business reasons you did it, not the technical reasons, and how you did it, the what you did, and the reason and result. I said that, sorry, sick brain, not working. And you need to tell me what you did, how you did it, the business reasons. And you need to put it in full bullet points. So while it is good that you have REST APIs backed by PostgreSQL, you do not tell me the business reasons you did it. You said supporting structured skill profile data and efficient querying. Cool, that means nothing. You need to tell me the business reasons, not the technical reasons. And still, I don't see anything full stack. I don't see TypeScript. I don't see JavaScript. I don't see HTML. I don't see CSS. I don't see cloud. I don't see backend. I don't see React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, or Git. And maybe it's farther down in the resume, but your formatting was so bad that I could not find it. So this is the reason that you are struggling to get a job as an entry-level software engineer, is you need to specify your resume, and then when you're actually making this resume, you need to make it based on these keywords in qualification format. Because remember, we're not keyword hunting. If they were keyword hunting, a skills section would be fine, but it's not. We need to show how you did it and the business reasons. So that's all I can do for this resume. Let's go to the next resume, and yeah, let's see what that one is. My brain is not working. Next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. We do not know how good or bad this is, so we're gonna find out. What we need for a data scientist is degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, so data modeling, data analytics, etc. The industry, explaining stuff to non-technical folks, that is critical. Influencing stakeholders, cross-functional, ML ops, Microsoft Office applications, Google Sheets, AI, just a little bit of AI. Everybody puts their entire resume in AI, and nobody wants that. You just want like a little bit of AI. Spark, scikit-learn, which I will always pronounce as skibbity-learn, pandas, numpy, dashboards, data visualization. So let's see what we can find in 20 seconds. The formatting looks much better. Where did it go? Where does the stopwatch? There we go. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, good, solid. Okay. Help doctors research the mental medical question by pulling in data for 1,000 patient records. Okay. Led project across 60 plus studies, defending analytical method of managing the escape. Leverage SQL to extract building. It's a little too technical. So it's a little too technical. You kind of put in too many technical wise rather than business wise. And you were there for 4 years, so this is an okay amount, but it's a little bit too technical, right? And it takes a little bit too long to get to the point. So help doctors and research teams answer medical questions is fine by pulling and analyzing data from thousands of records and explaining what the findings mean so doctors make decisions. So my problem with this is the goal should be you need a minimum of 3 keywords per bullet point, and this kind of only has 2. So answering medical questions and then explaining what the findings mean, actually that's kind of only 1. So what I would like you to do is rewrite this sentence a little bit. And instead of all this, I would rather you just say, explained medical questions by pulling, explained medical questions for doctors by pulling data from custom Excel Word, and PowerPoint documents, and then explaining what those technical information means so they can make better decisions for their patients. So basically, I want you to shove in 1 or 2 other keywords to there. That should be something, because I don't see Excel anywhere here. Oh, there it is. All the way. Okay, there it is, Excel. Like, it's just a little too wordy. And then led project management across 60 studies, owning requirements. This isn't really anything I need. I don't think there's anything in this that is relevant to data scientist. Because leading the project management is not it. Owning the scope requirements isn't it. Defending methodology doesn't matter. Managing evolving scope, none of that really matters. Leverage, don't say leverage, just say used. SQL across BigQuery. Again, BigQuery is not really something I'm looking for, and Teradata. Excel is. So this resume has a bit of a problem of a little bit too many hot dogs than hamburgers. And I want you to imagine that you're hungry and you go to a restaurant and you're like, I would like a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, cheeseburger and pickles and onions. You say, yep, that's it. So they go back and they bring you out a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions. And they say, here's your cheeseburger. And you went, no, that's a hot dog. This is not what I wanted. And you say, no. They say this is what you wanted. A cheeseburger has meat and buns, just like a hot dog. A cheeseburger has cheese, just like a cheese hot dog, and can contain pickles and onions. So thus, based on what you said, here is your hot dog. And you would walk away like they're gaslighting you, because they are. So this is a bit of my problem, is this is tangentially related to data scientists. This is in close to the same sphere, but it's not what they're actually looking for. And again, building clean and particularly across complex active projects. Again, this is a little bit too technical here. Is building clean, ready data sets on time? Why does that matter? You explained why this mattered very well, but then this doesn't really matter. This only has SQL and Excel, so you still need one more. And then I don't really know if the clean and stuff matters. Applying machine learning models, that's fine. That's AI. Those are things I'm looking for. Propensity score. But again, you didn't... This is too technical. You're writing this like a scientist when you need to write this to your grandmother that does not know how to turn on a computer. This I like. I actually like this one. The last one I like. So this one is something I like. This is a good one down here. So this one's good. But like, let's look through what you actually have. Is you don't really have data in all its forms. You do have Python, R, and SQL. You do have the degree. You do have the industry, and you do explain this, but you don't really... You do explain stuff to non-technical folk, but I don't see how you influence people. I don't see MLOps. I don't see cross-functional. I barely see MS Office. So, and that's only Excel and not Word or PowerPoint. I see AI, but not the rest of the AI, and I don't see dashboards or data visualization. So this is the primary problem I have with this, is you just don't have enough hamburgers. You have too many hot dogs. I don't think it's going to take you an incredible amount of time to fix it. You kind of just need to plug and chug, but you need to focus up, because most of this stuff is just not really related to what they're directly looking for. Next, resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer, and this is a mostly successful resume. This person used to have a 75 ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview. It took them 75 applications to get a single interview, and the goal should be 1 in 50, a minimum 1 in 50. So for every 50 applications you send, you get 1 interview. That is a good resume. This person is now getting, after my feedback, 40 applications to 1 interview. So this is good. It is improving. It is improved. And it is working. But let's see if I can be extra critical on it to get it even lower. So the biggest question they said is how to go about describing the why. They say it's easy to get too technical for me, and they like to hear my thoughts as a non-technical person, because they don't want to get too much into the weeds, which is true. This is version 2. So yeah, let's find out. 20 seconds on the clock. I'm expecting to find what I need, but maybe there's a little bit better things we can do. So 20 seconds is on the clock, and let's find out. And go. Shipped full stack features, good. TypeScript, React, Node.js, REST for AWS, focused on decreasing startup building from day one. Cross-functional stakeholders defining requirements of agile, taking product needs from 0 to 1. Used Python, automate AWS cloud, fully faster. Okay, made front end with Next.js for business tools, designed microservices. Okay. Yeah, again, that has mostly everything I need. My big thing is there's no education, which is a pretty big deal for a lot of software engineer stuff. If you don't have the education for that, then I don't know if you're ever going to get like a 1 in 7, which, by the way, that's what people get when they follow my advice, is a 1 in 7 ratio. So for every 7 applications, they get 1 interview. But there are some tweaks we could make. So the very first thing is, I don't know if you need this freelance at the bottom. All it does is kind of mess with your work history, because you already got this stuff. I don't think you need this stuff. Like, if anything, it's a project, that's fine, but I don't really think you need this, because this actually makes this look worse. Oh, wait, no, I see, because this is freelance, because you did that in there. Oh, I see what it is. It's not chronological. Yeah, I mean, it's... See, you've been out of work for a year. Honestly, I don't even think you really need this here. Like, you could put another section that instead of professional experience, it says, like, freelance work below it, which is probably what I would do for this. So I'd just be like, you know... freelance work, right? I don't know why I did that. Cannot drive. Freelance, so it would be freelance. Misspelled all of that. So this will be freelance, and then you can put it here. But, I mean, you've only been out of work for a little bit over a year and a half. It's when it's been 2 years that it starts to get a problem. So I don't really think this is a big deal. And then shipped full stack features. So here's my thing is, I want a little bit more detail, right? Like, what part of the AWS did you work on? I like that you shipped it, but, like, what part of this? So, like, as part of the team focused on startups, shipped full stack using, like, I want a little bit more here, right? And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is good. So that's the maximum. So, I mean, day one, my problem is this part, right? A team focused on increasing startup building on AWS from day one. Why not this stuff? And again, I don't think you need the activate. I think activate is a little too much. So for AWS, to help startups scale AWS from 0 to 1 or something, right? Or from day one. I just want a little bit more here. Worked with cross-functional stakeholders, good to define requirements, deliver features, and agile, taking product needs from 0 to 1. Okay, that's fine. That's good for startups. Although I would probably switch these around. These are this third one is a little bit better. Used Python to automate AWS cloud, CI/CD pipeline so engineering's team could deploy features faster, more reliable. That's a perfect sentence. But let's look through what you do and don't have. You have JavaScript, TypeScript. Actually, where's your HTML? I think that might be an issue. I don't HTML. Did I miss that? No, I don't see HTML. I don't see CSS. CSS is all the way at the bottom, so they're not gonna scroll all the way down here to get to this part. So I would prefer you to do a little bit about HTML and CSS and SQL. Again, it's not bad. Like this resume does pass, but you're missing a couple of the basic things in the first couple of bullet points, which is going to impact your chances, which I think is the reason you're getting maybe a 1 in 40 instead of a 1 in 20. That and maybe the education. But so I would just tweak it a little bit more to add a few of these things up here. And one of the new ones is DevOps. So if you can put in DevOps up here, they'd like that as well. But overall, it is a success. Next resume. This is a resume of an AI engineer. So this person has a bad resume, takes them over 150 applications to get an interview. So that is bad. Again, the goal should be under 50. Anything under 50 is good. So what do we need for an AI engineer? We need AI, LLMs, NLPs, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Cloud, NumPy, R, MATLAB, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps. One of these, RAG, ML, LangChain, SkibbityLearn, Pandas, Agentic, or LangGraph. And you need to explain complex stuff to non-technical people. That last part is critical. Your job as an AI engineer is to deal with a bunch of people that do not know what AI is. And they're going to tell you a bunch of stuff, and you have to explain to them what it actually can do. Can it do your taxes? Yes. Can it do them well? No. You have to explain that. So 20 seconds on the clock. We're not going to find what we need because, again, it's over 150 to 1. So let's find out what does not work. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, degree, good. Generative AI, okay. Design and deploy generative AI and machine learning using PyTorch, improving AI analytics. operational. Okay, this is the bad business why. Developed and fine-tuned large language models, including to pilot co-pilot assistance for clinical. Cool, but why did you do that? Architected RAG using LangChain to enable. That's a technical why, doesn't count. And that's it. Okay, so my problem with this is formatting. Nothing here should be bolded. There's a reason this only has this bolded, this only has this bolded, this only has this bolded. This is the only stuff that needs to be bolded. Otherwise, do not bold anything else. The second is, I don't know what you did. You designed and deployed generative AI for improving AI metrics. Cool. Why? I don't know. You didn't tell me. How did you explain stuff to non-technical people? I don't know. You did not tell me. What was the point of architecting RAG retrieval pipelines using LangChain, Llama Index, Pinecone, and to enable context-aware question, semantic, and document intelligence? I don't know. That's the technical reason, not the business reason. I don't see... Do I even see Python? Yeah, I don't see any Python either. I don't care that PyTorch implies Python. You do not have Python. It is assumed you do not have it. I don't see Cloud, which maybe you have it, but this is a mess of bolding to the point where I can't actually read this. So I can't find it. Where's Python? Do you even have Python? All the way down there. No one's going to read that far down. Did you even have TensorFlow? There it is. I missed it because everything else was bolded. What about PyTorch? Okay, there we go. Cloud, any AWS, all the way down there. Yeah, you have this giant skills section that means nothing. So nothing in here counts. You want to know why you're struggling is because I don't know what you did. You built this for an audience that does not exist. And even for tech startups that are AI focused first, what they typically want is a strong, solid software engineer who has a little bit of AI. Even for these AI roles, like I've recruited for them before, they're not going to go with somebody that has all of this stuff in their resume because they don't really want this. They want a strong foundational software engineer who then has a little bit of this stuff. But this is entirely too dense, entirely too technical, and does not show me the business reasons why it works, which is why you're struggling to get interviews. In addition, never put willing to relocate. You need to put moving to X by Y date, can move earlier, sooner if needed. Otherwise, do not put that. That is a red flag. So this is why you're struggling to get interviews is I don't see what I want. The stuff you do have is buried underneath all this bolding, and you do not even tell me the very basic stuff, and you don't show me that you can explain this stuff to non-technical people. So that is why this resume does not work. Next resume. This is a resume of a full-stack software engineer. This person stated they're actually getting about a 1 in 40 to a 1 in 50, so I think they said a 1 in 50. So this is a good resume. This resume does pass. A 1 in 50 is a success. That is good. So we already know what we need for this. Let's see how we can make this better and take it from a 1 in 50 to a 1 in like 10 or 20, give or take. So 20 seconds is on the clock. And go. Okay, good. Build and ship a full stack application using Next.js, React, Node.js, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, Fortran, Agile. I like that. Use GitHub to add your in time. Developed RESTful 8 points backend while also recording input validation. Developed API REST points while incorporating valid design. Okay, so this does pass. I actually see most of what I want in the first sentence. My big complaint with this is that you front load basically everything into this bullet point to the point where it's almost too much because you want a maximum of 6 keywords, a minimum of 3. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is a little bit too much, while this one only has 2. So you want to move some of the stuff from here to here. And then you want to make it a little bit less technical. But overall, I do like this. This does pass. Your font is a little off, right? Like we don't want to, like this does not look like this, okay? You want to make it look like this. If it's a little longer, that's fine. You've been working as a software engineer for about 7 years, you can have it be a little bit longer, more than one page. That's not a big deal if it's more than one page. So I would prefer you to use this format because this is almost correct, just not quite. And then I need you to remove some of the keywords in this first one and put them down here so that we have a maximum of 6 and a minimum of 3. And then I would prefer you to tell me the industry of this. So like delivered a centralized fintech or a centralized SaaS platform or a healthcare platform. This is a good place to just put in your industry, which is something they want. And then again, this only has 2, so we need more. Then develop RESTful API endpoints and application to the backend while incorporating. Again, this only has 1, right? It's not bad how you wrote this. But I need a little bit more about the business reasons, and I need more because there's only 1 keyword here when you need a minimum of 3. Design and normalize Postgre schemas in this SQL. Again, this is scalable is good, but there's only one keyword here. Interacted with GraphQL servers. Again, I don't think GraphQL is something they really want. You can put it as a bonus, but it shouldn't be its own sentence down here. Architected good backend service on AWS. You already mentioned AWS over there, so you don't need to mention it again, which reduced infrastructure and enhanced reliability. Again, there's not much here. Implemented secure login. Again, none of those are really needed. Implemented Jest and React is okay. So again, this does pass, but there's a reason it's like a 1 in 50 rather than a 1 in 30 is you put too many keywords in your first bullet point, and then every other bullet point is not enough keywords, nor do you really tell me the business-wise rather than the technical-wise. So, again, it does pass, but there's a difference between getting a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 20. But the rest of I really like the first sentences. Also, you don't need to tell me that you graduated in May 2019. You can just put status graduated. If you had just graduated, then you would want to put when you graduated. But since it's been a little bit, you don't want to do that. Let's see. Is there anything else here? I would put the city and state down here, and then if possible, put citizenship status here so that it looks like here. But overall, that's about all I can do for this. So again, not bad, is a success, can be more of a success, does pass. And that's all I can do for this resume and this video. I just want to thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, especially my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. That's also where all the other good links I have that are free for people. But until next time, thank you for watching, and I will help you get ahead of your job search. Later, y'all.